David Wright from Survivor Millennials vs. Gen X, and you're listening to Survivor Talk with Dwaine and David. I promise I'm not trying to find an idol. Also, does anybody know where I can find an idol?
Welcome to Survivor Talk with D&D. We're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. Are you new to the show? Well, congratulations, my friends. Because of all the Survivor podcasts with two co-hosts named David and Dwaine, you have found the absolute very best.
Awesome. Cannot disagree with that.
My name is Dwaine, and I am joined by a guy who I guarantee would have read non-transferable and kept his mouth shut. My best friend and co-host, David Jones. Hello, David.
To the end. To the end, no comment. Hello, Dwaine. How are you, buddy?
Man, I am doing well. Mm-hmm.
I wish I could see how well you were doing. But
yeah, I had a little frustrating 10 minutes there. But anyway, yes. Thanks a lot. Steve Helling's in the chat room. I want the last 13 minutes back.
Too
well,
bad, so sad.
Introduce our guest before I tell you what I am sacrificing tonight to be on the show. Those of you watching, I'm sorry. Oh, I don't even have it in here. Where's my? Oh, yeah, it is. Those of you who are watching and chatting live on our page, or anyone who happens to be watching later, you are probably wondering why we have a club bouncer and a boy band tenor in the video with us. I say never judge a book by its cover. Welcome to the show, two Survivor superfans and former Durham Warrior Survival Challenge teammates, Derek Merideth and Ryan Kaiser. Hello, guys.
Hey, brother.
At last.
That was a bad idea, David. I introduced them both at the same time, so they both talked at the same time.
I was like, he's going to call a name. He's going to say a name first. No, he just said both names.
All right.
This is Ryan, the champion.
How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing great.
How are you doing, Derek?
I'm doing good. I got an odd feeling this evening is going to be full of those. Let me get my little pokes in because I won.
Yeah. Ryan is probably going to do that.
I don't.
But David and I will not do that to you. We promise.
Yeah, because we didn't win.
Yeah, we didn't.
It's a tough game.
I know. Well, anyway, it's good to have y'all on the show. We know y'all love to talk about it. Both of you go to, I know, Derek, you go to finales, which is always cool. In fact, if you wear our shirt and sit in a finale and get on camera, I will, be very happy.
They don't have logos in there.
Oh, they don't? Oh.
Nope.
You could put tape over, and then when the camera goes, you go.
That looked like really bad.
Got an odd feeling it'd be the last finale I ever sat at.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah. So welcome, everyone, watching live on our website, survivortalkwithdnd.com. Our chat room is filling up with older people and newer people. That's good. David, next week is the Survivor finale. Guys, are you looking forward to the finale?
Yeah, I'm going to be there, so absolutely.
There you go. Well, David and I are looking forward to it because we're going to have much better looking guest on the show. Kelly Wentworth is going to be with us next week.
All right, I'll let that one slide.
Yeah, Thursday at what you have to, because what can you say about that?
She may not have your hair, but come on, it's Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that'll be Thursday at 1 p.m. So that's a full 8 hours earlier than normal.
So like an 8-hour podcast too?
No,
just,
no. I've got graduation and graduation parties and all kinds of stuff. So 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time with Kelly Wentworth. And so bring your headphones, bring a blanket to put over your head and the computer monitor so your boss doesn't know what you're doing, and watch the show with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, guys, it's time for some Survivor Talk. Yeah, I can only take so much of
that. Come on, man. You can play that on repeat all day.
Hey, Derek, when you're at the...
That's my wake-up song.
Oh, gosh.
This is the point. This is the point in the season where it's kind of like, yep, another podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
No.
Not for me. It's not. I like this part of the season.
This is going to be the best one. What are you talking about?
That's right. So, Derek, when you're at the finale and you're in the audience, do they play that music all the time, or is the band doing different stuff?
No, there's no band there, man.
Oh, well, there used to be. I'm sorry. Yeah.
There's not a band there now, or at least not the one that I went to last year.
Yeah.
But, they started off just like anything else with that as the intro, but the rest of it's just straight go, go, go.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, guys, we usually start off with initial thoughts, and then we're going to go right into some feedback. We're going to do it a little bit different tonight. We're going to kind of read feedback and stop in the middle of it and let that bring up some conversation. And so we'll just go from there. We're going to kind of play off the cuff.
How come
tonight.
only me and David are on video?
Well, I'm on video. Well, let's ask the chat room. Who all in the chat room? Who can you not see?
I can see everybody.
Chat room is PG-13. Is there already stuff being said in the chat room?
You can see Dwaine?
Yeah, I can see Dwaine.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can see his animated character.
Well, I'm on. I see myself.
Okay.
Well, I'm not complaining. Trust me.
Yeah. Okay. Brett Locke says he sees all of us, so we don't have to worry about it. We're all good.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. So do y'all have any initial thoughts? Like you watched the episode last night and it turned off and you said, I said, what the heck just happened is what I said.
Well, I said something like that, but I can't repeat it on the show.
Oh, well, yeah, but hey, can y'all shut that door all the way? So
What door? Oh.
yeah, shut it all the way, please. That's my mama. My mama, my daddy, all three of my boys, one of my boys' fiance, and my other boy's girlfriend are all here downstairs telling amazing fun stories of when my dad was a kid, and I'm up here doing this.
Aren't you happy?
Sounds like a full house.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I was like, what in the world happened? I mean, am I the only one?
I tried to make sense of that. And I mean, I don't know if it's really an editing thing that just didn't, that like wanted the viewers to be like totally blindsided too, or if like maybe that whole vote came about at tribal council to where there was no way of showing, what led to that. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because we didn't get to hear any of the whispering. You know what they should do?
I never got past the point of how production didn't let her know prior to walking in there that she couldn't use that.
Oh, no. Well, no, I know. I don't think they would do that at all.
Well, you say that.
I guess it would be like interfering with the game, but I don't know. I mean, I think it would have been a much more iconic moment had the advantage worked the way Suri wanted it to, because Sarah gave it to her, then she used it against her. That's pretty cool. But
yeah,
it just kind of became just awkward and just uncomfortable. I felt bad.
According to Michaela, Sarah didn't even give it to her until right before tribal. So she barely even had time to read it, let alone get to the bottom of it. You know. So
Michaela's exit interview definitely said that, she didn't give it to right before, but Sarah knew that it was non-transferable, and that's why she did it. So
my initial reaction was that was brilliant, because not only did Sarah, I think, pull a fast one on Suri, I think she made Suri look kind of shady in front of the jury.
But I don't think it was intentional. I don't think that Sarah was anticipating Suri doing that. I think it ended up being a benefit that she did, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd say that Sarah orchestrated that entire thing.
Well, what about what Brett says in the chat room? Do y'all think Suri and Sarah concocted the whole plan? Suri would have asked about it to production to divide and conquer and make it look like they weren't working together.
No, I mean, because I'm still trying to figure out who Sarah wants to go to the end with, because if they were still together, I don't know why they would vote out Michaela when she's like an easy third place with them. I mean,
right.
So
I think Michaela went because she was a physical threat at this point. I think and I also think she's the one they would not expect them to go after. Like, go after the second option or the third option. Don't go after the big player. I don't think Sarah wants to go with Suri. I think Suri's got enough clout. Yeah,
my thinking was that maybe if Sarah wanted to get out, get back at Suri for doing that.
See, that was my thinking.
Instead of going for Suri, who between the two, Michaela's going to be the bigger challenge threat. So, it's still hurting Suri, but it's also taking out a bigger physical threat and challenge moving forward.
Well, this is what I thought happened. I figured that Sarah gave Suri the advantage, knowing that Suri couldn't use it, but purposely not telling her that she couldn't use it. And because then it's a fake, I'm showing you how much I trust you by letting you hold this, so obviously she didn't tell her that she couldn't use it. And so I think Sarah was being sneaky there and may have even thought, I bet Serene tries to use it. And then of course did what she did last tribal council and feign surprise. It's all part of Sarah's plan.
I could buy that. I mean, I don't know if I buy her thinking that Ceree's going to play this. I'm going to make her like an idiot. But I could see her thinking, I'm going to let Ceree think this is like a lot more powerful than it really is to her.
Right. Maybe that's why she waited so late to give it to her, because Sarah's the one that doesn't miss details. So Sarah probably read that parchment like 12,000 times since the time she got it. I would.
She's a policeman and she notices things that we don't.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, I agree with that reading, but here's the thing. Did she think of this early? Did she think that there was the possibility of use to not hand it over until way late so that she wouldn't have the ability to read it? I mean, was she pre-playing that in her head?
Exactly. See that?
I could see
that's
that.
what I'm saying, Derek.
Yeah.
That this is
Ryan's sitting here saying that, you don't think that she thought that far ahead, but you go back to the whole, she read it 12, 15 times. She is a cop. I mean, she's got an attention to detail that's just out of this world that you've noticed so far. You think that wasn't a part of the thought process of don't let her read it? That way, if she decides she's going to use it, I've got a backup to be able to do whatever I want to take it away.
See, I bet Sierra didn't even read it. I'm sorry, Ceree. I bet Ceree didn't even read it.
Well, supposedly she didn't have time. She handed it to her on the walk and she just stuffed it in her pocket or whatever.
Right.
Exactly. And then they pull her over long enough for her to, say, I'm old school. If I have it, I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
So, again, I think it's a great Sarah play. That doesn't mean everybody, Derek does too, but it very well may not be. Ryan may be right on, and I don't remember what David said.
I'm not denying that it's a good play. I mean, I think that she did let Ceree believe that she was giving her more than she actually was. And I just don't know if I think that Sarah's thinking, like, Ceree's going to want to play this. She's going to try at Tribal. I'm going to deny her that and make her look like a fool. I don't think that may have been
okay. Right.
But I think her letting Ceree think it's powerful to Ceree was part of her plan.
I think Sarah knew she was giving Ceree an empty gun. She knew that she couldn't do anything with it. It was just a show of trust. That's why I posted that picture from Die Hard about John McClane giving Hans Gruber that gun that was empty because he.
Well, and plus Sarah reacted immediately to that. She's like, "That's not yours." I mean, it wasn't like "Oh crap, what did I just do?" She pretty much knew at that point that that's not true.
Go ahead, David. What were you saying?
I thought it was a great play by Sarah too, and whether or not she thought Ceree would play it, I think there was a 1% thought in Sarah's mind that what if she does, she still can't do anything,
right?
Right. So I think we're all in kind of agreement that Sarah knew she wasn't losing anything by giving it to her. If anything, she was gaining trust for one vote to get her out another time.
Right. So even if she wasn't anticipating the fiasco that happened for Ceree at council, she at least knew that it was a false sense of I'm on your side. Because she wasn't really giving her anything.
Right.
So,
but then when you show up, I mean, it couldn't have turned out any better for her because, like you said, it turned out to where she looked shady in front of the jury to a point. She couldn't use it anyway, so she got to take it back. And then it created this whole new school stand-up, everybody talk version of, tribal council.
Yeah.
But, one thing that we're not mentioning yet is, you've got Ty sitting over there with two of them in his pocket, ready to go. What's it take not to play one of those?
I know. He has to know something.
I don't know. I think people are probably on the fence of, is Ty just really that smart and intuitive to know I'm still fine here? I think he just got really lucky. I mean, I don't know. If you got 3 rounds to play an idol, you got 2 idols. I mean, just play it. Your name is out there. I mean, at that point, I wouldn't be trusting anybody left in the game. I mean, that goes to the end. I mean, I think it paid off, but I think he made a potentially fatal error had it gone like 1 vote different than what it did.
One tribal council earlier, the ending statement was, this is Survivor. You don't trust anybody.
Right.
So another I think smart move in that same moment, and Sean Farrell is talking about it in our chat room. I'll read what he wrote. The brilliant move of the entire exchange was her playing the extra vote steal, and then taking Ty's vote, which ensured that Cirie and Michaela stuck to the plan of voting out Ty because he couldn't use that vote. So she knew where the votes were. So you're right. I agree with you, Sean. That's another smart play by Sarah. I thought this was like Sarah's like, I'm good now. I can sit back and just play my next advantage.
Right.
I'm already in the final five. I'm good.
At that point, too, when Sarah steals Ty's vote, why does Ty not think, okay, something might be up? I mean, like, she just stole my vote. You don't just steal someone's vote if you're counting on that vote to be with you.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know how or why he did at least he had to. Why not just throw one out there and
but it goes a lot like Greg Woods just said in the chat would, man. It says, he's the coolest cat ever to sit there and not play it and just expect that this is going my way and let them duke it out because they're the ones standing up fighting.
Yeah.
Well, so then you have Michaela. She wasn't even on the radar. The next thing you know, she's going home.
Well, if we stick to Dwayne's theory that he's had all season, who was the last person to talk to Ty? It was Sarah at Tribal Council. Well, so she probably said, I'm going to steal your vote. They're still going to vote for you, but they're not going to get it because we're all going to vote for so-and-so.
I feel like she had to have told him that she's going to do that. Because otherwise, it was the same idea. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to do this so you don't freak out.
Right. Yes. Same thing Cirie tried to do it against him, but Sarah did it for him.
Right.
Yeah, but then you go back to the same thing. You can't trust anybody here. So what are you going to end up doing? Are you going to listen to her with two of those idols in your pocket that can save you? Or are you going to take that chance and turn around and go, I'm going to be here for another night. Let me go ahead and give you one of these, and pull the whole, keep hope alive trick.
If it's me, I play the idol just to be safe.
Me too. But it comes down to relationships. Where's the relationships that we're not seeing? Because if he can get by one more, unless he does something stupid, he's guaranteed to the final four. Because he's got an idol for 6, he's got an idol for 5.
But we're talking about Ty here. He's not thinking the same way we think.
Right.
But then you're talking about shooting forward again to the preview for next week and what it looks like he's doing there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, giving away idols.
Yeah.
Putting his game in somebody
else's. Trying to buy trust is my guess.
Yeah, it's almost like Ty is so unsure of what to do that he just goes with whoever tells him something. So Sarah sees him at Tribal Council, tells him exactly what one of you said, and he goes, okay, I'm going to trust her. And then next episode, it's going to be these guys are telling him, we want you with us. And he's going to go, well, I'm going to show you how much I believe in you and how much I trust you. And he gives them the idols, and then it's going to backfire on him. He just doesn't think like we do.
I mean, you're also going with, we get to see a certain portion that they give us. So you don't see everything that's said or that happens. So the reactions that these people have and the decisions that they make are just completely different than what ours sitting at home would be when we know the whole story.
I think this season's done like a really, I don't know, this is my opinion, but I think this season's kind of been almost worse in that regard of really not showing the true story as often as they try to do in the past, at least. And I feel like there's been like several of us this season where you just don't understand what's happening, and then you're kind of like, that never really was hinted at or led to.
So I can kind of understand the Michaela getting out if Sarah, because Sarah reacts to what Cirie did, and Michaela was like Cirie's Padawan learner, and so she hits Cirie where it hurts, and she gets Michaela out. So that I can see for sure. Anyway.
Well, even Michaela said keeping Cirie around. Cirie is not going to win a physical challenge.
No.
Right.
They could get rid of her at any time.
Well, you hope so, because you don't want her at the end.
Right.
Well, I don't know. I mean, think about it now with the impression that she's given. Do people look at that as a good attempt at gameplay, or do they look at that as okay, you just tried to stab somebody in the back, got busted?
Yeah.
See, that brings you to the point of the first tribal, which I thought was as rushed as a 1-bite ice cream cone. Yeah. That, to me, for a very underrated player that I thought had a really good season, she deserved a little bit more. But that whole tribal was all about how is the jury going to vote. And I feel it was interesting that I thought we got Cirie talking about, I want to go with Sarah because all the people she stabbed are going to be on the jury. But at the same time, Sarah's built a really good resume where I don't know what Cirie can do other than saying I was part of this vote. I orchestrated this vote. Sarah's making moves. She's telling lies. She's making switches. She's doing all kinds of good Survivor stuff that Probst likes. Make a move. That's all he preaches, you know?
Right. I wouldn't discredit Cirie's game though either. I think Cirie's just kind of an older school player. Obviously, she's played a much more subtle, controlled. I mean, I'm still impressed she's even there because I'm really after like Sandra, Tony. I mean, she's really high up there as far as like number one should be voted out in terms of like threat. So I mean, to her to make it this far, I think it's almost as impressive as like a Sandra making it this far. Because really, she should have that big of a target on her back, and yet no one's really paying any attention to her at this point.
But I still think Sarah beats her at the end. I still think if they're sitting next to each other, Sarah has played such an incredible game that I feel like she beats anybody, including Cirie.
I think so too. Unfortunately,
it sounds a lot like the whole Aubrey Michelle discussion. Aubrey beats her out. What happens at the end, though?
Well, that's true.
Yeah, but Aubrey did not get a lot of credit at Tribals either. Whereas people know that Sarah's pulling some strings here to get this stuff done. I think, if anything, this Tribal solidified that Sarah can beat Cirie. I think Cirie can get votes, but I think this Tribal, if anything, showed that Sarah's more in control than Cirie is.
Yeah.
They can get the votes to win. So I agree that I think she beats Cirie, but I still think Cirie does get votes.
Well, see, okay, so if I'm on the jury, then because I don't know everything, I think, oh, wow, Sarah played that well. She gave her that advantage with the possibility of her doing it, knowing she could call her out on it. So whether she did that or not, if I'm on the jury, I'm thinking she might have. So anyway.
You also then question the are you voting for the best gameplay, or are you voting with a social situation of you had friendships prior to as well? I mean, when you start bringing in all these, previous players, these people hang out together. They talk weekly. They do a lot of things. And if you've got enough people over there that are close to Cirie that you don't know about, they turn around and they go, well, Sarah played a great game, but can't vote against my buddy.
Yeah. See, that's a good point, because that whole first Tribal, we kind of saw which side certain people fell on. Ty falls on the relationship side.
Yeah.
Aubrey's talking about people have emotions. They're going to vote with their emotions. Don't necessarily vote for the strongest player. You might want to vote for Finn, and Andrea fell on that too. So these people are like saying, we know Sarah's doing a lot of work and controlling a lot of things, but hey, we're still friends, right? We're on the same tribe, don't forget us. So that was to me the only good thing about that first Tribal. I wished we'd gotten a better edit for Andrea going out, because I thought she was a really good player, but that first Tribal was all about setting the table for the jury.
Right.
Giving us an idea how people are playing to the jury.
Right. And what was interesting about that, at the time, I didn't really like it. I mean, okay, Probst, why are we going through this? But it really showed you what each person felt like their strong point was,
True.
So how do you think they're going to vote? Well, I would assume they're going to vote for gameplay, Well, I'm thinking they're going to go for relationships.
Yeah. People are robots.
It was very telling.
Well, at certain points, I mean, all you can do is just, go out there and punch somebody in the mouth and hope it works.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if I'd do that.
Well, I mean, okay, come on. You're being
the right
literal.
answer. Sorry, Derek. Go ahead.
I said, if you're going to be literal about it, I don't think I'd advise that. But,
really, the right answer to that is I think they should vote for someone who did all three, right? I was a strategist and I made big moves. I was also sociable with everybody, and I outlasted you. That's what they're voting on.
But you're still not pulling in the fashion of the prior to the game. I mean, again, you're playing with all these previous players, many of which who've been around for a very long time.
Well,
who do you have those friendships? How are you going to
answer that to Probst? I mean, are you going to say to Probst, well, I think they're going to vote based on who they knew before the show?
See, that's the stuff that's not going to make the show, though. I don't see them really airing that, all these pregame.
Yeah, they are forbidden.
They're going to do what they can to craft a narrative to show what happens, but if that's a key part, they're going to try to find some other way.
Yeah.
But that all plays, I think, in Cirie's game, Dwaine, that she covers all those points, including the relationships outside of the game that they're not allowed to talk about in the game. They're not allowed. I think Jason told us they're not allowed to talk about anything before the first day or anything outside other than like family stuff, because as far as, hey, I met them once, or I met so-and-so once. That None of that can come into play. But like what you were just saying, covering all the bases, Cirie has that. But I think this time around, she's getting outplayed by somebody that's doing more work than she is.
Well, Sean said it in the chat room. He goes, that's what happens in WV. Well, that's what happens in every state, friendships. But you could always come up with, like Ryan said, you come up with a reason for anything. Hey, I thought Cirie's gameplay was the best because she never gave up. She kept trying through everything. We never voted her off for being weak in this situation. So she brought herself with every other part of this that you're wanting to use as a vote to get here. And you could validate that as being good gameplay.
Oh, absolutely. It's just like politics, which we're not going to get into. But everybody see the exact same thing, and you're going to vote your bias, right? Yeah. So if you like Cirie, then you're going to figure out a way to vote for Cirie, which is exactly what you're saying. And and if people are going, no, they're not going to do that. It happens in every aspect of life. We do that all the time. We vote or we perceive things or we receive things based on our bias. And in this case, they vote on their bias. Does that make sense?
I'm just wondering if there's, I got you. I'm just wondering if there's enough seasoned players on the jury to vote Cirie for that reason, because Cirie's been around a long time, but there are newer players on the jury that.
Right. Like, I mean, I would say Zeke is like the iconic, big moves, vote for the strategy person, where Zeke's going to be 100% behind Sarah, while Debbie, for example, I don't think she's ever going to vote for Sarah because she tends to hold a grudge against, it kind of happened with Aubrey. And I think we've kind of seen some clips of her not liking Sarah. But, Michaela, I think she'll be one who probably leans more towards Cirie just because of the, relationship part versus so much of the gameplay. I mean, not to say, I don't think that Cirie's played necessarily lesser game than Sarah. She just played a different kind of game where she's focusing on, the subtle social kind of, maneuvering, while Sarah is going balls to the wall and, making the big moves and big plays, which they're flashier, but I don't really necessarily say if they're.
This whole discussion is based off of a tunnel vision that we're agreeing that Cirie's already made the end here.
Oh, no. I'm not agreeing with that. I think she's next to go.
No, mine is what if she makes the end? So I don't have the assumption she's going to make it there. I'm just speaking what if she does.
Well, if anybody else ends up with Sarah at the end, who has any type of chance except for Cirie right now?
Right.
That's my thinking. I mean, I think there's with anyone else, there's no point debating. I think Sarah wins against anybody. Cirie gives her a run for her money and maybe wins.
I think Sarah goes with two of the people that voted with Sarah last night. So I don't think Aubrey or Cirie are at the end with Sarah. I think Sarah goes with two people that were part of her voting group last night.
Yeah. Well,
okay. I don't see how it can break up any other way. I mean, unless they swing tie back and vote out Brad and Troyzan. I mean, but I think there's some mix between those two sides. It'll get there.
You know what this feels like to me? This feels like you are in a battle and you have an ally and you're going to break off with that ally at some point and they don't realize it. And this feels like that moment when you're like, okay, I'm breaking off and I'm going full on and I'm about to take everybody out, including you. And this is what it feels like Sarah's done. We've been together. Boom, it's time. I'm going full force. Cirie, you're out. So-and-so, you're out. And she's just going to take the game to the end. Is the way it feels like to me. That's what it feels like.
I completely agree, because we've heard it like 10 times. It's all about timing. And I'm one of those that believes you do it to them before they do it to you. And that's why Andrea voted Zeke. And that's why Sarah went after Andrea, and they showed in that episode that they were coming after them. It's like that bike race where the whole pack is together, but at some point, somebody's going to have to make a break and shoot for the stars, like Sarah.
Exactly.
Said. And I agree with you that in this tribal, I think, or this episode kind of feels like Sarah said, all right, here it is. And she revealed to Cirie, because Cirie revealed what she was going to do. So Sarah revealed, all right, fine, I'm done. I'm breaking. I'm going with this group, and I'm going to the end.
Yeah. Ozzy said in his short little, they're doing these little short videos of people on the jury. He said it's Sarah's game to lose. If she's on the jury, who can beat her?
Right.
So of course, CBS wants us to see that.
I'm surprised they're even releasing those videos now. Usually those are pretty I don't want to say spoiler heavy, but just like you kind of want the surprise ending where they kind of telling the jury or showing us what the jury's already thinking. It kind of, gets rid of that mystery of what they're going to do.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, man, I would be disappointed if the jury said, we're going to vote for Suri just because it's her fourth time. To me, that's just.
Well, I don't think that's why she'd win, though. I think she's played a strong enough game. And
I agree with Ryan. I think she's played enough of a game to make a case at the finals. Oh, that would stink if they voted for her just because it's her fourth time. Maybe less.
Well, I mean, it's a lot like, Sean said, you play to your strengths. I mean, you may be able to make a case just because it's your fourth time, but if you know who's voting in what way, who's voting friendships, who's voting gameplay, who's voting with their heart, yada, 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 you turn around and you go, does she have the ability to talk well enough to sway some of those people?
Yeah.
And I mean, gangster
we also got that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think.
We also got that swaying going on at Ponderosa, which is what we're not going to see.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of talk going on at Ponderosa. CBS doesn't even try to stop that anymore.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't have cameras on 24/7 there.
Jeff mentioned like a jury twist. Is that
he did?
I thought so.
Yeah, something different for the jury.
I don't know if they wanted to do it or they actually are doing it and we're going to see something like that.
I think it's this season, and I don't think we've seen anything yet. But I do remember one of his preseason interviews that he said something would be different about the jury. But I don't think he necessarily said why, but we kind of felt it was because of the bitter jury stuff.
Oh, see, I thought it was to kind of almost – maybe it was pretty jury. I guess I was thinking maybe it's because to kind of like at least mix up the votes more than these 10-0 blowouts. But now I think that now they say I think it may have been more toward the bitter juror.
You know what would make everybody really mad is at final tribal council. The jury gets to vote on one of them to go back in the game and take out one of the final three.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's
right.
not.
So we could have this discussion for the next 3 hours. So how about I start reading Will the Giant Ninja's feedback and we discuss based off of this feedback, and then we'll go on to the next one, etc. Is that cool with everybody?
Hey, it's your show.
This is true.
We're just here for the ride, brother.
All right, Will the Giant Ninja. What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. So it's now 12:12 Central Time, and I have a trial in 2 hours and another tomorrow. So naturally, I'm writing about Survivor because my brain needs a break. Quick takes this week. Number one, I bet Aubrey is ticked off. She's so important that a conversation about her gets a transcript and the editors misspell her name. Did you see that?
Oh my gosh, poor Aubrey.
Oh, I thought my eyes played tricked. I'm like, surely they didn't misspell that. I'm like, I think they did. And then someone screenshot it later, and I'm like, that's pretty bad.
They need to get new interns.
But
every single year.
We even got the confessional of her saying this is Survivor for her, the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. It can't stay in one level for her. Even when she wins immunity, she's not in the vote.
It's like she has been on the wrong side of the vote the entire game. She's been blindsided almost every single tribal council. And when she finally does something great and she thinks maybe I can go here from here on out and they won't remember all that other stuff, boom, she's on the wrong side of it again and surprised again.
You know what Aubrey's tagline is? Great job, guys. Great job. Yeah. That's unfortunately the main line she gets.
Yeah.
Well, nice play.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least I'm going to get, second or third place money, maybe.
I mean, what else are you going to say, though, in that situation? I mean,
I know.
You get led down that road and turns out it's the wrong road again. And what are you going to say to the camera? Got me again.
Yep.
And you know what's more disheartening for her, I would think, if I was in her position, I am so not a part of this game in everybody's eyes that they don't tell me anything. I mean, I'm not even important enough to bring in on discussions about this.
Well,
which is almost the exact opposite of her last game.
Right.
Exactly. It's like she keeps backing the wrong horse. Everybody else is picking that one, and she's picking this one because of her. She had a good feeling about it, and it just comes in last every time.
Yeah. All right, number 2. Last week, I wondered why Sarah looked stunned by the vote. Then I realized it was to make sure fan favorite Sheriff Sierra Dawn Thomas gave her the legacy advantage. I like that Andrea noticed it as well and found it shady. Well, but Andrea didn't know why she was doing it, which is probably not what he's saying, but they were all talking about it when they got back. I mean,
they knew that she was doing it to pander to Sierra. They just didn't know about the advantage part.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm surprised they didn't really go deeper into that. I mean, they all knew she was, playing shady and pandering to the jury, but they're like, that's what she's doing, but let's not do anything about it. I mean, I don't know what.
Now, was this the one where Ty kept going up to her, or was that Aubrey?
That was Ty who was comforting Aubrey that we were talking about.
Oh, is that Aubrey? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3, Andrea should have been explicit in what she was saying. She was toying around with the idea that Sarah pretended to be surprised by the vote. Just say it outright. Call her out is what he's saying. So Andrea has the best "I can't believe I just got voted out" face ever. Seriously, she smiles every time. Andrea's, beautiful. All she has to do is look at you. She's beautiful.
Well, she can't exactly have a Michaela blow up. I mean, think about her career.
Oh, right.
Right. She's a professional.
Right. Yeah. She's a professional. She's on camera all the time.
Right.
Everybody knows who she is.
Yeah.
Not even just from Survivor, but, everything she does for people. So she goes out and has one of those giant fits and people start completely looking at her differently. Her
ratings drop. Yep.
Her ratings drop. She loses a job. Right. I mean, we've already seen one job loss this season,
Yeah.
That was part of what felt so short about the first half, and that it was actually Michaela, Aubrey, Cirie, and Andrea saying, "Did y'all see that? Yeah, she was playing up to Sarah. She just playing to the jury. Boom. Let's go after Andrea. Let's go after Brad. Let's go after Andrea. Boom, boom, boom. Sarah finds out. Boom. It goes back to Andrea. We're done. Vote." And it just, the first half just, man, really?
We really rushed.
Yeah.
I will say, though, that I hate these kind of episodes anyway, but I think we were given enough backstory to why Andrew was voted out. I mean, I was thinking Andrew was going to go last week and the week before just because people were kind of throwing her name out. She's a big threat. So, I mean, I wasn't I was as surprised that she left. I mean, while I was like Michaela, I mean, she had minor tiffs with Brad. But besides that, you're kind of left wondering. I mean, you're left to put the pieces together versus the show already doing that for you. But I think
it was kind of like a trial where the prosecutor lays out the 3 facts. He was there. He had the weapon, and we've got him on camera. Okay, we don't need any other witnesses. Let's go vote. Let's go vote at the tribal. Yeah. We're done.
Well, I mean, again, you're putting 2 vote outs in one an hour long block, and you wanted to showcase as much of that Cirie Sarah deal as you could in that time frame. So, I mean, I get why they did it, but it's kind of doing 2 votes in 1 hour show is definitely lacking for our seeing what really happens.
Would you guys have been upset if we had 2 tribals, but when right at the end, when Jeff says it's time to vote and Cirie says Jeff, and they went, and it ended last night's episode.
Well, yeah.
And then it picks up on the finale.
Right. And that's the kind of thing you're looking at if you tried to extend out the first part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be way too
there might be some outrage. That'd be like Coca-Cola changing.
I mean,
the
they did do that in Exile Island with Danielle and Cirie starting the fire challenge. Or 3, 2, 1, go, and then it was shot to black. Yeah. But
hey, David,
they probably fear that it would get leaked out what happened and it would be spoiled. So Dwayne.
Well, and also then you can't really show really much of a promo because you can't show really anybody. I mean, you don't know who's gone, so it wouldn't work out logistically.
So David, I threw out the Coca-Cola changing the recipe analogy, and then I realized these guys have no idea what I'm talking about. They were not even a gleam in their dad's eye at the time.
I don't know about all that.
That's funny.
By the way, if they're going to start doing all this whispering at council, then they need to have them wired up and let us hear some of it.
I think they muted it to save the blind side of Michaela, or else it would have told us. I think they went around and said, "Hey, Michaela, done."
Oh, yeah,
because they had the subtitles whenever Malcolm was brought out. They clearly can pick up some audio. They just chose not to. They want us to.
That was great.
That is true. All right, he continues. Number 5. Last week I said Michaela screwed up by not voting Andrea out. Maybe I was wrong. Number 6. So Brad was kind of excited to win immunity, huh?
Yeah, I was waiting for that. This is my island moment from him.
Yeah, he kind of went over the top there. Yeah.
But at the same time, I think all the looks and the comments and the Brad's got to go now. I mean, he knew it was coming. So I love it. He said, all right, pick somebody else, people, because you're not picking me. So it was like popping a balloon. It's just a relief.
That's the I feel like we were left out with more because, I mean, like his name had been out there kind of before, but it didn't really seem like it was like all eyes on Brad. Like it was like, whenever Troyzan did that whole, this is my island thing back in the world, it was like, that was clearly like, we're all against you. You're next. Where with Brad, it was kind of like, he's in trouble, but it's, not as like do or die, I don't think.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think Derek was saying something.
It's still funny. Everybody's kind of going, okay, you're happy.
Yeah. Michaela kicks the box, which is always a good thing.
Right. Is it just me or does Michaela have like 4 broken toes by now? God forbid I ever make her mad or I'm going to get kicked.
Yep.
Or some hot teeth on your face.
Okay. By the way, if I was Probst and her puzzle was that close, I'm looking at it like 12 times, calling production over. Am I sure this is wrong?
He started backtracking. He started jogging backwards before he told her it was wrong.
I know. I'm thinking, oh gosh, if I call this right and it's wrong, I mean, All right. Number 7, Troyzan confessional alert. What is that? 3 on the year now? Yeah, they're not showing Troy.
Well, Mick, goes back to the whole statement that, that Ryan made, this is my island, but you haven't seen anything from him at all. Is he playing that low key, or are they just not interested in letting him out there?
He's not part of the story. I'm sure he's playing a lot, but it's not part of the story. And CBS is telling the story. I mean, what else? They can't tell every story, so they got to tell a story, and he's just not part of it.
I mean, really, even as buddy Brad hasn't been as much of the star, the show since like the merge. I mean, Brad's kind of been more involved. I'm assuming he probably does better, but. I mean, Troy is kind of like Brad light when it comes to like, how he's voting. So, I mean, between the two, they're only going to give so much airtime. They're going to pick Culpepper over.
But at the same time, I'm agreeing with you because Troyzan and Brad have never turned on each other. Whereas you've got this other alliance that is now taking out each other. And that's a much more interesting story, I guess, to follow than two guys. Hey, let's just let them fight. Let them go after each other. So fine.
They could give Troy like something, but well, it's actually ironic that like in this episode when there's so short of time anyway, they finally give a Troy confessional where they probably could have thrown in multiples when they had more time. So I don't know.
He probably said that 3 weeks ago. So they probably just threw it in this week.
Well, the weird thing was like his confessional was about him having his immunity idol, which didn't even come into play. So it was completely irrelevant to this week's story.
Right.
I don't know why they chose to show it now instead of before or later or whatever.
Just to make us think he was a candidate.
Or to remind us. Sometimes what they'll do is they feel like they need to remind us because they're not showing us a lot of him. And earlier in the season, I mean, there were times when they showed Troyzan because it kind of played into what they were going to show later. So if they're showing Troyzan back then and then today and then last night they show him talking about his immunity idol, it's very possible that is to remind the audience that he has one because something might happen next week. So it's part of telling the story again.
Oh, and I agree. I mean, it has to come out next week. I mean, if he doesn't play it next week, I don't know. But
then
it was like I just said in that chat room, this is a total Sarah edit. The only things that we are seeing right now are all involving that side of that story.
Right.
Is it starting to feel like Caramoan with the Cochran edit?
I guess you could get that vibe from it. I mean,
there's at least other people who have a shot. I felt like, at a certain point, it was just like, this is Cochran's and like literally no one else's. Where it's like, Brad's got a shot, Saria's a shot. I mean, editing wise, Troy not so much, but I mean, gameplay wise, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, I felt like Cochran was just a step above, a hair above, whereas I feel like the others are a little closer to Sarah, but she's still starting to pull away. Yeah, Dwaine.
Can I say what you just put in the chat room?
Sure.
Okay, so just everybody needs to know Troyzan has already been in contact with us, and we are going to have a Troyzan gets to say whatever the heck he wants episode postseason. Can we say the other person, David?
It might be separate podcast though, because I don't know if we'll be able to get them together.
Okay, but we have another person on this season that also wants to come on the show and talk about all kinds of stuff. So be looking forward to that postseason. So, because, I'm sure Troy Zen's going, I was there. Hello.
Mystery guests.
He's on Twitter at least.
Well, we got,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm the one that told them.
I know. I feel bad for the guy. Like, how would you like this entire experience to be completely ignored from? There's been people in the past who've had it, but.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, if the story was a different story, he would be in it. But it's a different story, so you're not in it.
Yeah.
But another question begets that whole, did they let us know he had an idol again just to prep for next week where they did the preview?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If it goes down the way they showed it, now he's got 2 in his pocket.
Yeah.
He's playing like Ty, and he's ready for the Final Four.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There's always a reason that they show us things. Always a reason.
So what happens if go down to Final 6, Ty plays one, gives one to Brad. No, Brad wins immunity, and then Troy plays one. Sarah has hers. Then they split votes between Aubrey and Sari. Can't decide which one. It's left to draw rocks because everybody's immune.
That's what we call.
That's called a bakerism. He texted that to me earlier today. Andy texted me that. He said it's not going to happen, but it's there mathematically.
Possibilities are there.
The next
one. Also, they would have to know. I guess Sarah and Brad and Troy and Ty would all to know that they're playing idols. They have to go Aubrey or Sari, and then they just poorly plan that. Where I don't think that really happened, but that's what my beef with all these different idols. Really, there's like that chance that happens. Like, what do you do? At that point, production's probably going like, oh crap, God help us if that happens.
Yeah.
But then you go back to the other question that was set out here. How many people know Troy Zen have that idol? Like, I don't think anybody knows, do they?
Right.
I do because he's on my team.
Well,
I don't even pay attention to my team, so I don't know.
That's because your team's on the second page, bud.
I don't even know, man. It's just all for fun to me. As far as that whole team thing. Who is pounding on their keyboard?
I would guess it's Derek because his picture keeps popping up on my screen.
Oh, does it? Derek, type.
He's chatting with his million Twitter followers. They're all just tweeting.
Derek, lighten your fingers upon or the whole podcast is going to be.
I don't do anything light, brother.
Well, try to do this one light. Man.
I do fitness whole pizza in my mouth,
Yeah. Oh, but by the way, David and I last episode, I think maybe we were laughing about the whole thing that CBS is probably ticked off that Ty has these 2 idols, right? Because nothing's happening with them. So here's a little fun.
They're going to get what they're wanting in about a week.
Yeah.
Right. But master idol hunter who never plays the idol.
Exactly. So production just kind of everyone subliminally over the last 3 weeks of the show have been kind of like, you could give them away. Okay, now what about so-and-so? You could give them away. What about so-and-so? You could give them away. Little subliminal give them away, Ty. Yeah,
but he voted for me last time. If everybody would stop voting for Ty, he'd give them away.
Do you remember the movie with not Will Ferrell, DJ Jazzy Jeff and with the Fresh Prince, Will Smith. Sorry, that's how I get to his name. Where he's like the con guy and he's over all the con people and they go to that football game.
Yeah.
Right. And he keeps implanting all of this number in this guy's head so that he knows that he's going to call that number.
Yeah. Is that I Am Legend?
CBS hired Will Smith to come into every confessional and subliminally get Ty to give away his idols next week. That's what they did.
That was crazy. Yeah. He even had jerseys on the field and football players wearing numbers at this point. Yeah, I remember that.
All right. Number 8. Maybe it's the lawyer in me, but I was screaming at Sari to read the fine print. Always read the fine print. However, what if she didn't have time? Because that's what we were talking about earlier.
That's the answer.
Yeah. Boy, don't you know she was. Yeah, because you know what? Whenever he said, why don't you read that? She was like, oh, okay. I haven't really done this before.
She read it twice. Yeah. She read it one time. And then Probst even went along to the degree of, is it, as in it could be done. And then Troyzan brought up. He even said it in Twitter, and Michaela confirmed it. Troyzan brought up she needs to read it again because somewhere I heard non-transferable. Right. So I even caught Probst off. But, of course, we didn't see that part. We saw Probst come right along and say, you need to read that again. You need to read the whole thing for us.
Well, I like that Asteri just goes, that's my idol. Hello. I mean, that's my advantage.
Yep. Interjection. That movie title was Focus.
Yes, it was. Thank you, Sean.
And I agree with everybody in our chat room that said it, everybody in our Facebook group that said it, that I think Sarah was very smart, again, to play it and get it out of pocket, get it out of the game so it's not a target on her back anymore. It's been said all over in our groups.
Once it came out, you didn't have much of a choice. It had to go down.
Right. Agreed. Point, Sarah. Actually. Oh.
Sorry. Your board's not big enough, buddy.
No, it's not. I have to start touching the windows.
Wow, the old Jeff Probst whiteboard for the.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
All right, number 9. So Sari wanted to use Sarah's advantage to steal Sarah's vote, to save Sarah. And she wanted to tell Ty about it so that Ty didn't use his idol, so that Ty would go home. Do I have that right? Does he have that right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, from the edit they showed.
Yeah. And so, and so she goes to Sarah, I know this looks bad, but I was trying to help you. And I'm Sarah going, uh-huh.
And what's funny is that Will's number 9 feels exactly like the edit. It went from bing to bang to boom to there.
Right.
And it's all it was. I mean, great job from Sari to talk to Ty that way and make him feel vulnerable and terrified. But at the same time, I think he skedaddled right over to Sarah.
Yeah. Well, Sari had this amazing, miraculous, wonderful plan. I mean, I was sitting there going, this is great. And then she even says, wow, can I pull this off? And she almost did. If she had read the fine print, she would have done something different.
Yeah. That would have been a really impressive move. If Ty had not played his idol like she, clearly convinced him to, I think.
Yeah. Wow.
4 or 5 at least.
So do you think Ty plays his idol if Sari is able to steal the vote?
No, I think she had him. She had him convinced that what she was doing was for his benefit. I think so, at least.
That's true because Sarah hadn't talked to him yet. Sari was the last one to talk to him.
Right. She was the last one to talk to him. So he had no other idea except for what she was telling him.
Right.
All right. Number 10. I honestly don't know whether Sarah was setting Sari up or not. Obviously, she knew that Sari couldn't use her advantage, but did she think that Sari would try to use it? Did she hope that she would? Did she steal Ty's vote, hoping that Ty would be freaked out and play an idol? I honestly don't know. Inquiring minds want to know. Help me out, guys. Well, if you've been listening to the show, we spent about 34 minutes on it. So
I was almost wondering when it happened if Ty asked her to steal his vote because he didn't want to vote for Michaela because they had bonded at some point. But I think Ty bonds with everybody.
Yeah, Ty. Yeah, Ty's the ultimate bonder.
Everybody loves Ty. Ty loves everybody. Yeah.
And with that, it's back to trial prep. Hope I win. Later, peeps. Will at the Giant Ninja.
Good points, Will. As always.
All right. Now, I have Mere I Ams, and I'm not sure how long it is. Wait, just a second.
It's short. It's not very long this time.
Yeah. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it where I can pause it if I need to. So if you want to interject something, I can't ever see David or Derek. Both of their pictures are just frozen. The only person I can see is Ryan. Huh. So
that's so weird. Second, I can only see David. So this is all
weird.
That's weird because I see Derek and Ryan perfectly good, but I have not seen Dwaine all night.
And I have all of you.
And again, I'm not complaining.
Yes, thank you, David. Well, I get to see your picture of that yellow with that big old head on it.
Really?
Yeah, this one.
I mean,
this right here. I can see that right.
You
there.
Brought up the age game earlier. I mean, you're both old.
Oh yeah, I'm 48.
Stop it,
David's. Aren't you 50, David?
Not yet.
I'm almost 50 years old.
You had to look up and think about it. That tells you a lot.
I'm so old. I don't even know how old I am.
No, I've been reminded weekly, I think, here lately that it's coming up.
We always joke that, we're the two old guys in the podcasting world.
Is there anyone older?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, they're not doing Survivor shows if they are, or at least.
Probably not.
What?
He knew the answer to his own question. It was rhetorical.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. All right. Oh, by the way, y'all, I should have taken a screenshot of last night because Ryan had just gotten out of the shower and his hair was all the way down to here.
Oh, I did. Do you want to see it? No,
I mean, it was great.
Ryan got real quiet.
Ryan's like, no, that is not allowed to be shown.
I wake up like this.
Yeah. And then Derek was on there and he goes, dude, what is wrong with your hair? All right,
you only know him. I mean, everything you ever see is like that.
I know.
I was last year at Durham. I was the guy with the hair.
The dog out the window look.
And it stayed that way all weekend.
Yeah, that was
How much
crazy.
Product did you have to put in it for it to stay that way the whole weekend?
Did it stay like that? By day 4, it was like a God knows what.
By the time he had the bobster, it wasn't perfect, but it was still up in the air.
I think after the first water challenge, when my hair got like wet, that finally kind of did it. But
I'm just impressed you can keep it up that long. All right, here we go. Here I am.
Out there, Durham, all
Hi,
that dirt.
Dwaine and David. This is I am, also known as Vader Girl. Hi, group. Hi, listeners. Loving D&D. I love your guys' podcast. I just can't say it enough. I think you guys have a great thing going, and please keep it up. We really enjoy it. The community you've created. I love your analysis. You guys are just awesome. Anyways, I don't want to run in my 3 minutes. I just wanted to say I loved last night's episode. I think it's one of the most beautiful cast of all time. They are all just gorgeous. Have you noticed how beautiful everybody is? It was like, wow, I think they're all beautiful.
So let's pause here. Have you taken time to examine the beauty of this show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody else will admit it. I mean, they pick very attractive women, and somehow it just lasts.
Yeah.
We call it island hot.
Yeah, island hot.
Yeah, there you go.
But as well, when you're surrounded by beautiful islands, it only adds to it. I think the scenery is amazing to show us this year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Continuing. I'm not sure if that's what Miriam meant, although she did have the hots for Ozzy. So here we go.
Just watching between Andrea and Sierra, I was like, those are two of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen. So first of all, I just want to say how beautiful they all are. And they seem like genuinely beautiful people. 2, I'm loving Sarah Lucina. Officer Sarah seems like she's unstoppable right now. And she's got 2 advantages, and she's just playing very well. I also am happy for Ty. Ty's got 2 idols. He's made some good moves. He seems like he's got Michaela. Michaela, she's becoming quite a force, like her or not. I enjoy watching her. And I do think Michaela and Ty have a good shot at making it to the end. They may not win, but I think they may go to the end. So
is she saying what I think she's saying?
Vader Girl, I love you like family, but I don't know what show you're watching.
Didn't Michaela go home?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like when I get a feedback like this, I actually question myself. I know Michaela went home, but why are you saying that? Maybe she didn't, and I just missed it.
I do agree that Ty could go to the end. I don't think it'll be.
There's that outcast twist.
No, I know. Miriam knows the twist that I mentioned earlier, and Michaela's coming back.
Oh boy. Whoever has the most broken appendages gets to come back in the game.
Well, Miriam is in the okay. Wait, did I play the wrong feedback, Miriam? Is that what you're saying? She's in the chat room.
Uh-oh. We got a new email from her.
I know. I thought I used the right one.
Apparently that was last week's.
I think that's what she's saying. That was last week's voicemail. Okay. Y'all continue to talk. I will go find this week's voicemail.
Ooh.
Y'all go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself, and y'all go ahead and do your thing.
Talk.
Hey, David, why don't you do Mike? David, why don't you do Mike from Canada? And if I need to say something, I'll just come in.
Sure.
And say it.
Sure.
What about Mike from Mexico?
Nope, just Mike from Canada.
We don't have Mike from Mexico. We asked him not to come on.
Ooh.
Just kidding.
Yeah. His email couldn't get over the wall. So
yeah,
hi D&D.
I mean, it was a whole wall.
Mike from Canada present for the latest Survivor episode. Actually, given the Senators/Penguins playoff game priority at 8 p.m. and watching Survivor at 11 p.m. on the West Coast feed proved to be the best move of the night. I did not like this double elimination episode at all, and I do not like green eggs and ham. No, he didn't say that part. He just says, I did not like this double elimination episode at all, and for a lot of reasons. Working backwards rather than forward as you guys do, the final tribal council was complete chaos. Did y'all like? Hands up. Do you like? Well, not hands up. This is a video part, but do you like the chaos? Okay. All right, Ryan's already voted. Do you like? I love that they get up and talk because I love when Probst just stops talking. My favorite thing is when Probst is not talking. I'll get to that in a second, but I like it because when Probst lets the game flow naturally, and to me, it's a natural part. Michaela can push Troyzan away all she wants, but Sarah can get up and go talk all she wants. Do y'all like this part of these tribals?
I don't mind it when it's, provides for good entertainment. I hope this season doesn't make it like a thing where it's like every tribal council. That's just not,
too late.
Okay. Well, it wouldn't do it for next season. Or like they just got finished filming next season. So it wouldn't for next season, but will it?
Well, right. Well, I'm saying, if it starts happening like every single tribal council, it's going to get old. We've seen it now, like twice now, I think. So it's not overwhelming. But if it comes to the point where it's like leaving out, or if it's like changing things, there's no way for them to put into the story. That's what I have an issue with it, because we'll never know what's going on, and it'll just be hard to make it what's happening.
Well, Dwaine, unless production wants to step up and, when somebody's talking, I wish I could have said something to tribal. Well, last season people got up and spoke, but you do what you want to do.
That's right.
Well, I mean, when did the whole talking start? Because they used to have gag orders, right?
Well, we're talking about talking during tribal. I don't think they have gag orders in tribal. I think they'll let them do whatever they want, and Probst will say, all right, stop, we're not going any further with this, or
maybe I'm confusing information that's been given to me, but I'm pretty sure that for the first XYZ number of seasons, it was talk when spoken to, and that's all you get.
Oh, that's what it felt like. Yes, I agree.
I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody's told me that's how it went down.
Yeah, but I mean, what's Probst going to do if somebody just gets up, stop the camera, turn it all off? He's only done that one time.
No,
twice. I know of twice.
He's probably done it more than that, but I think they encourage. If you're on the bottom, they want you to fight with everything you've got, and if that means interrupting Ryan while he's talking or interrupting Dwaine while he's talking, I'm going to do it because one, I need to get my words out. Like Michaela said it 2 months ago. Use us. We're on the bottom. Use us. And then Brad said it last night. Hey, we're on the bottom. Use us. And I think Troyzan said it too. So I think they want to encourage people to interrupt, to talk. They want drama. This is what they want.
You think Probst isn't, I guess like you say, is not inserting conflict enough as could be to open up those channels, and that we need them to be able to do those things? And
oh, you mean like when Probst told Sari, all right, you can't use that, but she gave you that as a sign of trust. How do you feel? Right. Because, he brought up exactly what Sarah said. This is a sign of trust, and he said the same exact thing.
He definitely took what she said and spun it to see if he could start a bigger conversation.
There you go. No, he wouldn't do that, though. No. So let me get back to Mike's email. Oops, wrong document. Here I am.
All right.
We saw it earlier in this season, and it was 10 times this week. Tell me how Sari managed to escape a second disaster at the second tribal, and instead Michaela gets voted out. I don't get it. I'm guessing challenge threat is the only thing I'm guessing, because
it has to be,
Sari should be the winner.
I mean, Sari's good, but I don't know if she could have gotten out of that one.
So let me ask you this. You vote out Sari. Michaela goes back to camp alone, ticked off. Is that what you want for the next 24 hours?
Is that what you want a chance for the next however many immunity?
Yeah.
She wins. That's right.
Right. She wins out, and you're sitting with her there, and you voted off everybody I ever worked with, everybody I ever trusted with, and I got here on my own. That opens a whole nother discussion of, does she have a real chance at winning at that situation?
Right. I would like to have seen Brad's face when it got whispered to him, we're voting Michaela. And really? Happy birthday to me. Yes, let's vote out. Let's vote her out. So let's see. The no rules, everybody talks and moves around at the same time really made Survivor look very amateurish. For those as well that like to guess outcomes, there just wasn't a lot there that pointed in Michaela's direction. It didn't make a lot of sense from what was showed. I wonder if it was too obvious. If we'd got that, like we've just been saying, if we'd gotten the chatter that they were saying, we would have said, oh, they're going Michaela, from there on.
Well, I think so, because basically it would have been just Sarah just telling Ty, telling Brad, and telling Troy, and we're going for Michaela, and then there'd be no suspense.
Also, I don't like the idea of a final 6 for the last show. You just know the reunion part of the show is going to be squeezed to nothing. It will be interesting as well to see if Jeff Varner is there for the finale. Thanks for listening, Mike. As far as I know,
I don't see any reason why Varner wouldn't be there to start with.
Yeah, he's going.
I mean, but then, oh, wow. Brain fart.
Wait. It will be interesting as well to see if Jeff, of course he's going to be at the finale.
That's $10,000 right there.
Right.
I mean, he's going to be at the finale.
But now, do you think they even planned any of the Michaela portion of this prior to that, or was that all in real time because of what went down?
It feels like to me it was in real time.
Because did we ever get word of like what Brad and Troy were doing before that whole tribal council? I mean, were they going in voting for Michaela? I would almost think they were going in voting for Aubrey.
Well, you saw the upset where Michaela told him, you better go fish, buddy, and he was like, I'm not bowing down to you. So
it's kind of awkward
that they were going to vote for. I don't know.
Is that an inside for that? Is that
I don't think we ever did. Answer your question, Ryan. I never got. That's true. We never got an edit for that where they showed. Well, all we saw was Sari wanting Ty and Sarah not sure, maybe going after. I don't. You're right. Yeah, that was more of a bundled edit right before.
Well, then Sari voted for Aubrey, so I'm almost wondering if the plan was kind of going in. Let's vote out Aubrey.
Well, I wonder if she was worried about Ty playing an idol, so she threw a vote at Aubrey just in case.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So Brad was immune. Did they ever even specify like who Sarah actually wanted out? I thought it was it Aubrey or was it Michaela?
Yeah, because Sarah trusted Ty over Aubrey, and Sari trusted Aubrey over Ty. So she was going after Ty, and I think Sarah was going to go after Aubrey.
That's what I think, and that's why I think Sari voted for Aubrey because she, got outed. So it's just like, all right, I'll just go with whatever your original plan was, which is Aubrey. That's why I thought that.
She was showing her trust back in. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Trying to get it back. But I don't think we ever got a very specific, this is like line drawn in the sand kind of thing.
We knew that Sari wanted Ty out, but that was really all that we knew.
Right. And the lead up to the whole usage of the advantage.
Yeah.
They didn't spend any time on anything else that was going on because that's what they were leading up to.
Right. Good point. Dwaine, you ready?
Yeah, just a second. I'm changing my shirt.
Oh, thanks for
turning that off.
And that is not something you want to see.
Nope.
Oh, you want me to go ahead? Okay, I'll play Mirror I Ams. Here you go.
Hi, Dwaine and David. This is Mirror I Am, also known as Vader Girl. I'm calling from Edmonds, Washington, with crazy eyes. I seem to have gotten some sort of allergic reaction, or I don't know, my eyes are giving Jessica a run for her money. Whew. So anyways, that's going on with me. Other good news is I should have an apartment come here next final podcast. So here's hoping. Say your prayers for me. Things are looking better. Hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. And about Survivor last night. Well, I wasn't expecting Michaela to go. I thought for sure she'd be taken to the end as a goat. Love the girl, but I know she needs to self-assess her game. I'm not surprised at all that Andrea went. She was too big of a threat. I kind of had predicted that. Now, Sari is looking really good, and so is Brad Culpepper, but I'm 100% convinced Sarah Lucina, Officer Sarah, is winning. She's getting such a good edit. She's really controlling the game. She's controlling the strategy. She's controlling all the decisions. She's controlling every tribal council. I mean, if that girl does not win, I don't know if I think there'll be more angry people than I think even with the Audrey and Michelle, So I really think Sarah's winning. She is doing quite well. Go, Officer Sarah. I would love it if Sari won also. And, I love Brad Culpepper too. He's doing really good. But my money is on Sarah. She's winning. And whether or not she's using Ghost Force Tony, I do think the spirit of Tony is there. Have a great day, guys. Eat lots of kale, drink lots of water. Black hats are great. And I do dare you guys to try one of my recipes. I did offer 2 kale recipes for you guys to try. I hope you enjoy them, and I hope you try them. They are delicious. They are great for superfoods. Are great for curing any illnesses, like, it can help cure pre-diabetes, diabetes. It can help with MS. It can help with allergies, headaches, lethargy. Food really is key to eternal life, or at least fighting off a lot of these diseases, colds, etc., etc. I really think if you guys focus on diet, you'd feel really great and look great, which you already do. But I just think you guys should try one of my recipes and give me some feedback on it. Love you guys. Have a great day. May the force be with you always. Love to your families. Hi, Gracie. Bye.
I don't live near an ocean, so I can't go pull kale and eat it.
Kale's in the ocean?
No, obviously I don't know where kale is.
Okay. Because for a minute I didn't think I did either. But if food is the key to eternal life, I've got a long life ahead of me.
Yeah, me too. It's like, wow, if I eat healthy, I'll live forever. No, Miriam, you are absolutely correct that superfoods and certainly extend life. I know that because my cousin has lupus and has absolutely no symptoms because of the way she eats. So, but anyway,
spaghetti tastes better.
It does. I had spaghetti last night.
Because of that, I had spaghetti today.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because we were on last night. And you heard I was having spaghetti.
Yeah. Yeah. But we've also got like an amazing spaghetti place in town here. And it just happens to be their world famous strawberry pie week. So definitely stood in line for about an hour today to eat spaghetti.
I thought you were going to say strawberry spaghetti for a second. I'm like, what the
I know. I was like, no, this is not happening. Strawberry spaghetti.
And he talks about my hair.
The little whipped cream, maybe some ketchup. All right. There's some people who eat ketchup on everything. So, all right. Did y'all have any comments about Miriam's feedback? I didn't get to hear all of it because I was changing my shirt.
I mean, I think she's spot on about, what we talked about, how Sarah is probably the front runner by far, and then Sri and Brad behind her, and everyone else not. Yeah. Although I think she was really behind. I think she was the one that was really behind an Aussie winner at it earlier in the season.
Oh yeah, she was.
That didn't pan out, but I think the Sarah one may.
Yeah. All right. So David's already read Canada's, right? Mike from Canada, eh?
Okay.
You read that one? All right.
Yep. So what did y'all think? Dwaine, save your segment. I want to bring up this. What did y'all think of the two challenges this week? I particularly love the second challenge, and not just because Cass destroyed it during Kagayan, but I just love that challenge. I think it's I love the puzzle behind it, and I love the puzzle equalizer. Sari even made it up there to do the puzzle. Yeah. I love that challenge. I like the first one too, because it's not necessarily an endurance or physical thing. It's just a little balance. But I like both of these challenges, and I felt bad that they were both rushed into the season. But thank goodness that Aubrey did it in 6 minutes to give us more time at camp.
I like the second one. It's, a great challenge.
Because it was Cass's challenge.
That's a big reason why. But I don't know if I'm a huge fan of like the puzzle equalizer things. Like if everything's going to be just the puzzle, I mean, why even have the other stuff? Like the one a couple of weeks ago with the reinventing the game puzzle. Like the puzzle took like an hour, or maybe not that long, but the first part took like 5-10 minutes. Yes. Is it really worth even expending the energy and time and making that if it's really just about who can solve the puzzle the fastest?
Yeah, we've talked about set so many times. It's so true. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were still going on. I was just interjecting. I was just interjecting. Yeah, we've talked about that a lot, and you're right. Yeah, so... But that, I like that puzzle. That's a difficult puzzle because you don't see the other side. You got to make a point to go around.
Wasn't it identical? Isn't it like a mirror image?
No, about the holes. You don't see the holes you're creating on the other side.
Oh, right.
Ty and Brad
don't set the right pieces in place, you end up with a hole, but it doesn't look like it on the front.
Yeah, right. That was Brad's dilemma.
That's just, I would be so frustrated if I thought I was really close and I'd turn around and it's, be starting all over again.
Well, somebody else had that problem too. Who was that?
Kayla.
Ty had a hole.
Ty had the other hole. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But Kayla had the one where she actually solved, physically, but just the pattern was not correct.
Is it just
one block off?
Oh, go ahead. What?
Just one block off.
Yep. Is it just me, or every time I see a big long pole sticking out of the water where they're going to stand on it, I think of peanut butter? Am I the only one?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, because of the chocolate and peanut butter thing?
Yeah, I just,
yeah.
I mean, not because I didn't even see that when it actually happened. It's just that's what you hear all the time.
I don't
think those poles are as tall.
Oh, okay.
Well, you led to a very interesting magazine article after that. So,
I don't know if I read that. So, all right,
I'll mail you a copy.
Okay.
I'll take one too, just if you're. Sorry.
Okay, I honestly do not know what y'all are talking about, so I'm going to just.
You brought it up.
You're right. You brought it up.
But I don't know what you're talking about as far as the magazine, so we're just going to move on.
See, the challenge gave Dwaine what he thought was ammo, and then it just blew up in his face. So
yeah. Something tells me I don't want to carry this discussion anymore.
Okay. I just wanted to bring up the challenges because I really enjoyed them. I enjoyed the challenges.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, guys? What do y'all want to talk about? Anything else about the show? Man, talk about some fun discussion. That was great so far.
Let's bring up a little bit of what's possible next week.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk about next week. Go ahead, Derek.
Oops. I was going to say, let's let Ryan finish what he was saying because I interrupted him.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I kind of wish instead of doing the whole, the two tribals, back to back, or 1 half hour, 2 half hour, I wish they'd bring back, the true double tribal council where, 2 people go, but it's just all at the end of the episode where you get, a full episode still with,
that would have been cool.
Tribal phase.
Yeah.
Which I thought they were going to do with the episode whenever it was the combined one, but they kind of did that, which ended up being a kind of interesting twist. But I don't know why they don't do the whole 2 tribes, 1 tribal council. Those were always good episodes, I think.
Yeah.
And they felt.
I wonder if they worry about losing big players. I think they were a little disappointed at the beginning, losing so many big names.
Well, if they were worried this season, they should have done a much different job in casting. If that was their biggest concern.
Yeah,
right. Because you threw so many big ones out there. What were you going to do?
Yeah, did they not expect those people would go home early? I mean, come on.
Okay.
So next week, let's talk about next week on Survivor. Ty cries, Ty reveals, Ty talks.
Well, his cry was a little bit more. It straight up said that he lost control.
Yeah, I've lost control, and he also talks about putting his life in their hands. And then we get Brad being all Culpepper saying, I have no problem voting him out with his idols.
Yeah.
Would you have any other thought going through your head?
What, if someone handed me an idol?
Right. That you would use it to send them home. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I do the same thing Sarah did. Thanks for telling me that. I'm going to get it.
Thank you. I totally agree. I was about to say, if somebody tells me they're going to give me something if they're going, you might want to take your stuff with you when we go to tribal.
Yeah. Or if they're going to just flat out give me an idol, yeah.
Well, and if I were Brad and Ty gave me an idol, I mean, I'd keep it, but I don't know if I'd vote out Ty because the guy trusts me enough to give me an idol. I mean,
so do you think they guilt him into doing it? You think Brad brings down the lawyer talk on him and says, we just don't know, Ty. We don't know if we can trust you. And Ty feels the only way he can get back into that group is to give him his idols or show him his idols.
That's like I said in the beginning. He's buying trust with him. He's trying to buy his way to the final 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess what I'm saying is if I'm Brad, him giving me an idol is not going to keep me from voting him out. If voting him out would help my game.
Right.
I wouldn't target him. With that. Wouldn't target him because he gave me the idol, but it's not going to make me not vote him out.
Right.
Well, then you go back to the next question. Does he pull those out and they pull the whole guilt trip on him for not telling him he had him the whole time and being behind his back?
I thought we were close.
Right. I thought we were close and you held these off and that makes us not trust you. So you have to give those over so we'll trust you.
That's right. Give us each one. By the way, I want the one with the purple beads, please.
Well, I mean, we going to end up with an ice cream man at the end of this? I mean, you're not going to get him going home with both of them, but is he just going to give them away and get sent home?
I can't see it. I mean, I don't know. I can't see Tyler giving them both away. I mean, that's just unless he's immune at final 6 or 5 and says, here, now you can do it. Right. I don't need it, but.
Okay. This is what Ty's going to do. Ty's going to get a little bitty stick and he's going to whittle on the string non-transferable. And he's going to give them both away. And then when they try to use them, he's going to go, Probst, those are mine. Says non-transferable.
Right.
So, okay, I've got a theory too. It's not as good as Dwaine's, but what if Ty wins? What if Ty wins Final Six immunity, and Brad and Troy start talking about how much of a game Sarah is playing, and how much Sarah's going to beat everybody, and this, that, and the other. And Ty wins immunity, gives his idols to them to save them, so that the three of them go on. They've made a final three pact, so they can vote out Sarah, but they vote out Suri or Aubrey instead. Next tribal, Troy and Brad are safe, and they vote out Ty because he has no idols if he doesn't win. What if, so Final Six, there's a 3-man play to stick the 3 guys together, keep them in the game because Ty wins immunity, and he wants to use them on them, and then they end up keeping them and not playing them because they know Suri's going, not them.
Oh,
and then he doesn't get them back.
Plausible.
I mean, I guess that's
it's hard.
possible.
It's hard to say like what. I mean, when you have Ty and you have him give him 2 idols and do what he will with it, that's kind of hard to say what's going to happen.
If I give away my idols and there's one more tribal council I could have played them, I'm crying too. That my game, I've just given up. I've just lost control, and I agree with you, Derek. I think that's where it comes from. That those tears. I was so close, and I've given up control of my game.
I mean, that's definitely possible that he gives the 2 over, or they don't even use them. Right. And then now they've got them, and he's, crying, I've given up control because these 2 guys are safe next time, and I'm hosed because Troyzan doesn't share with him what he hadn't shared with them prior.
Troyzan's got a souvenir.
Right, and he's got a souvenir to take home with him.
By the way, David, Patty's calling you out. Just saying.
Sorry, I wasn't reading the chat room 5 minutes ago. Sorry.
There you go. There you go. That's how you handle it. Mm-hmm.
Apologies are good.
That just shows Patty and I are on the same wavelength.
That's right.
Same good ideas.
Yeah. Crud, I had some
on my mind. I'm going to go back 5 minutes ago and see where she said that.
Okay. This is what I want to talk about since we're talking about next episode. How many idols are in play? How many people are there? So there's 6. How many idols are in play? And what are the different scenarios that could happen with those idols?
Oh God!
6 people, 4 idols, and the possibility of immunity. So,
yeah, how crazy is that? If you're the one person who does not have immunity,
well, if they all get played,
well, I know. I'm just saying.
I mean, it's right. It's all in how they get played, but you go back to like Dave said, that Bakerism that could happen.
Yeah, 6-way tie for immunity.
Right, and the show just implodes.
Right.
The camera's all shut off and it goes black.
Right. Yeah. Technical difficulties.
Yeah. So what happens?
Filmed a year ago, but technical difficulties.
Well, you almost think that we almost have to see this tie coming because would they have even made a point to say there's a new rule if it never really even happened or came into play?
I thought it already happened. Didn't that already happen earlier in the season?
Oh yeah, the pulling rocks portion did.
Or at the very least, it changed the way they handled a tribal council. At the very least.
And you're still wondering what this jury twist can be because it's obviously coming next week, whatever it is.
That's right. Oh my gosh. I wonder what that is.
Well, I mean, that's a great question. Somebody in the chat room said earlier, could it be the same thing that they did in Karong? Do you have the opportunity to send somebody home that could vote against you?
Oh, I hated that.
If we get one reward challenge, it could be for that very thing.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough time in the finale for that to happen. But
well, we didn't think there was enough time to get 2 decent vote outs last week, but there's your hour.
Yeah.
But we didn't get 2 decent vote outs.
Well, we got one really good one.
That was the point.
Yeah. Well, man, that's horrible for the guy playing or the girl that has to go.
Oh, gosh.
Mm-hmm.
That's just taking the entire Survivor experience.
Oh, yeah.
Taking a big part of it out.
Sit down and ask Neil how he felt 5 minutes after that happened.
Exactly. It's like, why didn't you just let me go home 6 weeks ago then?
Right.
Well, no one goes home though.
I know.
Well, right. You go on a nice vacation if you're pre-jury, and you're locked in Ponderosa if you're jury.
Yeah. All right. So I don't remember what Andy's crazy implosion thing was. Can y'all remind me?
It was, he said Ty wins immunity. Sarah has her immunity. He gives his idols to Brad and Troy. They're immune. And then the votes are split between Aubrey and Sierra, 2-2, and they can't decide on one, which makes everybody immune.
Right. You can't force anybody to pull rocks at that point.
Well, I think Suri and Aubrey I would think they would also go like a fire making, because I would think that idols trump having to draw rocks. So if they've all played idols or had the necklace, they're not going to say, now Aubrey and Suri are immune, you guys are going to draw rocks. Like they're going to say, well, you would draw rocks, but you're all immune. So
I don't think they would not come to a unanimous decision. I think they would all say, oh, it's just a tie. Okay, Suri, you go home, and they'll agree.
Or why don't they just say, okay, well, no one goes home. We'll see you in 2 days. Or we'll see you
it's only a 2-hour.
I mean, okay, but if you're going to stick to the rules, then.
Yeah, but I mean, there got to be a bylaw of some sort that cuts you out of that rule and sits you to the side making fire or, finishing a puzzle or doing something there to say, okay, you lost, go home, loser,
Okay. Oh, I know what'll happen. Probst will just ask somebody to leave and not let them vote on them.
Oh, yeah. So Patty thinks, I'm going to quote you now, Patty, and actually I know you've said this before because I did see this comment. She thinks the roundtable jury twist is a roundtable discussion, so no bitter jury.
Ugh.
I'm not sure how that's going to
be. I hate that.
Well, just everybody has an open discussion about the whole situation to talk about everything. You get rid of your speeches and your statements, and everybody just talks.
But they already do that. They already question them before they go to tribal. What are you going to ask? What are you going to ask? And then they give some people questions because they don't have any good questions.
I think they mean like a Big Brother thing where I think they always usually have like a round table, then they go vote. No. I don't like whenever jurors vote for who I think is the lesser of the two people, or three people. But I think each juror has the right to do that. I don't think they should feel pressured to go the way the majority is going. So I would much prefer like a 5-4 final vote than like a 10-0 or whatever it's been lately. I think I kind of, even if there are a couple bitter jurors, it kind of makes it closer. To where it's exciting.
What, you don't like unanimous votes?
Well, only when I get them, but.
Okay. I just want to make that clear. Yeah. So, thank you. So my question is, if we're done with that part, are we good with that? Everybody, Dwaine, you clear now? Clear as mud?
I don't think they're going to do that.
Are we going to have a new tie rule where if you find a hidden immunity idol in the first 3 episodes, you have to play it by the 6th episode?
Well, there's another side.
Why did we make these idols? Yeah.
Think about that jury twist. Now we're talking a jury twist that comes out, right? So all of this actually does happen, and then they look at the jury, and the jury chooses who comes to them.
Okay. Say that again.
The jury votes to eliminate someone.
Okay. Yep. The Bakerism happens. Everybody's sitting there; they can't figure it out, and then they look to the jury, and they let the jury choose who comes out.
Where's my microphone? Gotta drop my microphone for Derek.
Man. Oh, here it is. I love it. Or what if how about this? They do their whole tribal council and then Probst says, okay, it's time to vote. Jury.
That's possible too.
Yeah. I still think it would go back to just fire making. I don't think they would. I guess giving it to the jury, it would basically just delay the inevitable. They're going to vote the person who's not going to win apparently anyway. They're all winning them out. So I don't know really that.
Yeah.
Okay. But what about my second thing that I said? So we talked about Derek.
I stopped listening first.
Well, okay. The second
mine
thing
was just too good.
Yeah, yours was amazing. So what about the second thing, which is the jury? The tribe does all of their stuff at tribal council, and Jeff says it's time to vote. Haley, you're next.
Then you see every single idol in the game come out at the exact same time because nobody has any clue what's going down.
But how cool would that be? Or they let them all vote. I don't know.
I get it. I'm just trying to figure out a way to weasel in some sort of jury twist that goes on. But if you put yourself in a position where nobody there can vote, then you move to a vote for a double vote. You vote to get that person out, and then they vote to see who wins. I mean, it's possible. But
I think the jury twist is going to be something. I hate
going to be
something. Oh, go ahead.
I hate the rocks thing, man. I'd rather.
I do too. But take it a step forward. If it comes to a full-on tie and they can't agree, and there's nobody that can draw rocks, let the jury draw rocks. And the person that draws the one rock either comes back in the game, or votes the person out.
Back to we only have 2 hours, bro. That would have had to have happened like 2 weeks ago.
At least they're not doing the walk of shame anymore. That was a complete waste of time.
Nah.
Well, I thought it was.
That was nostalgic. It was nostalgic.
I always like that. But
I did too.
I did. I usually fast forward.
Yeah.
The casuals will fast forward or complain about it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we all have the parts that we don't care much for. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the whole family visits.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That maybe it makes me a little heartless, but you've been out there for 29 days or something.
But they have, on a serious note, I'm going to pick Derek's microphone back up and put it back on a serious note. But they did get the jury involved in Quran with the vote out of the jury. So I wouldn't be surprised if the jury twist is some other jury involvement other than just voting at the finale. I don't know.
I feel like it's going to be something like that affects the way they come to their decision. I mean, because that's the thing that Jeff wants to change is basically make them think differently. So I don't know if there'll be so much voting someone else. If they vote someone out, you're just saying that wasn't the right person wasn't going to win anyway. So what's the point of doing that? Where I think it's going to be more of like a discussion. I don't know. I can't really think of it.
So what are they going to do? Break out a television and let them watch hours and hours of film of what happened back at camp so they can make a better decision?
I mean, I don't know. I like it. I'm in the boat of just keep it the way it is.
Or they won't do this. Cause I agree, keep it the way it is. But they won't do this. But they could have them rank the final 3, 1, 2, and 3. Then you get a second place. Then you get a third place.
There are so many things they could do.
Oh, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which means we're not going to exhaust them all.
No, I'm already exhausted on that.
Yeah, so am I. So
I even read over my notes that I took my 1 page of notes and said, you know what? Well, there's nothing here worth talking about that we haven't talked about.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is what everybody needs to do. All right. They need to go to our website and go to read Kaiser Island. Right, Kaiser?
Yeah. Follow me on Twitter, too. Or my gift game is
Twitter.
on point.
Kaiser Island. KAISERISLAND. Kaiser.
I'm glad you're finally saying it right, too. I appreciate that after
You're welcome.
9 months.
Hey,
After
what
David's
happened to your
correcting him
overlay?
12 times.
It used to be on your overlay, Ryan, and now it's not.
I don't know what happened.
Or your overlay name went away.
He was just doing it to make me feel comfortable.
I still can't see you and Derek, so I think that's something just goofy with the hand.
Hey, you get the best of the 3, so it doesn't matter.
Well, anyway. Well, all right. So let's see. We're going to read Ryan Kaiser's blog on our website. And that's about all. Is there anything else we got?
Go buy a mug.
Yeah, really. Go buy it. Yeah. See our shirts? Go buy shirts.
Hey, I like Tina's suggestion. Let all the podcasters vote.
What, David?
Tina's suggestion is let all the podcasters vote.
That's yeah. And then you got to
probably
decide.
too late for that.
Yeah.
If they did do that, I'd feel bad because we didn't get a call.
Yeah, we would not get a call, which would be sad.
Fly you guys out to Fiji and vote for a game that you weren't a part of. That sounds great.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's been a lot of fun. If you're still with us, everybody, thank you for hanging around. If you have an unexplainable desire to support us financially, head on over to our website and scroll down, and you'll see 2 little cool flippy boxes, Patreon and Amazon. Love for you to do it. That's it for me. David, do you have any final words before we let Derek and Ryan say their final words? Any final words, David?
My final words is that this did not feel like less than 2 hours because I felt like we covered a lot for such a double boot episode that felt like it didn't give us a lot. I felt like we made it better just by talking about it. That's just my final thought.
Mm-hmm. Well, before I turn it over to Derek and Ryan for their final thoughts, I wrote it to David. We've done 302 episodes, and this has got to be in my top 5 favorite episodes. Very much so fun to do. Y'all were wonderful.
He's talking about the podcast, not the episode of Survivor. He's talking about the podcast.
Well, yeah, this episode of
Brian's like, is he talking about us? Is he talking about us? Okay.
No, we've done 302 episodes of Survivor Talk with D&D, and this is by far one of my top 5 most enjoyable episodes.
The other 4 the cast ones?
Huh?
Yes. Cass is in like 5 of the other top 5.
Well, yeah, and all the rest are Cass and Kelly.
Poor Tony.
Poor Tony.
It's a big old honor to be thrown into that mix there, bud.
Okay, fine. The top 15, whatever. Tony's was also amazing.
Guys, let's stop digging here. I'm losing love, okay?
Yeah,
come on.
Really. I mean, come on.
Can't we just go with this was great and I feel good about myself?
Yes, it was great. Y'all were wonderful, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. So
my only regret is I didn't get to bash Derek more. So for next time.
Well,
we almost made it, Derek. We almost made it.
Almost so close, so close.
I could never really bash
Ryan. You still have a final word. Would you like to do it now or wait till Derek's done?
I'll say the best for last, so I'll wait.
All right, Derek.
Oh, this has been great. I've really enjoyed it. Hopefully sometime we can do this again. And I got nothing bad to say about Ryan. He played a heck of a game out there when we played, and he definitely deserved to win. So kudos to the man.
Thank you.
For everybody listening and watching, just because some of us aren't here next week, don't not tune in. I mean, this is a blast no matter who's on it.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Derek. Now, Derek, you're going to be at the finale, right?
Nope. Can't make it this year. Got too much stuff going on.
Okay. But Ryan's going to be at the finale wearing our shirts, which is pretty awesome.
And I just got official word last night that I'll be in the studio. I got my seat fillers. Got lucky with me.
Awesome.
Nice.
So, well, there's a tiny chance that I could still get turned away at the door if they,
Yeah. Well, wear our shirt inside out. Wear the shirt inside out. And then
I'm going to wear my signature bright yellow to make sure I'm seated.
Yeah, of course you are. I mean, obviously, I would too. All right. Well, Ryan, do you have a final word you'd like to say?
Yeah, just thanks for having me. I mean, it's always fun talking with you guys, and Derek's been a blast too. So
awesome. Hey, is your Survivor crooked on your shirt? No, it's not. Okay, it's just the way you were standing. I was going to say return it if it is.
Dwaine, don't highlight that.
They forgot the I, though, I think. So
yeah. I want people to go buy our shirt.
He doesn't fill it out very well. So, I mean, it's hard to see it straight.
Oh, my gosh. I fill it out too well. I got it's a camel.
This is a child's medium, actually. Yeah.
A child's? Wow. Wow. Rob Ryan says, Ryan hit me up about the parties. I don't know if you want to do that, Ryan. It may be one of those, Las Vegas weekends that you never remember.
No, Rob Ryan's a great guy, man. If you can hook up with him while you're out there, I definitely suggest doing it.
You might end up on top of a building on a mattress. So.
Yeah, now Rob Ryan says he's going to be periscoping.
So that's a good name, Ryan.
That's right. Rob Ryan says he's going to be periscoping and interviewing people. So, Rob, if you'll type in your Periscope handle or whatever, then we'll tell it on the air and people can, because, by now there's at least 10 people listening. So we will make sure those 10 know your Periscope. You have about 5 seconds to do
at least 10. So get it in.
All right. Well, he's not. Okay. Thanks, Derek. All right. So it's been a blast. Yeah, I'm trying to give Rob a little bit more time, and he's not doing it.
We can put it in our Facebook group. There.
Okay. Well, yeah, Derek, you're in our Facebook group, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, just find out from Rob what it is, or maybe Rob can join the Facebook group.
I'll get him in there. No worries.
There he is.
There it is.
Okay, it's www.periscope.tv/the Rob Ryan. There you go. And
I'll still get him in there.
Yeah, Derek's going to put it or Rob will put it in the Facebook group, which is stwdd.com/Facebook. All right, everybody. Thanks for being on the show, you two guys, and thanks for being live in the chat room. And those of you who are listening to it after Thursday night, thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you next week when we have Kelly Wentworth.